Welcome to Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online. My name is Kelly and I'm a former wedding planner and blogger, and I'm obsessed with weddings. If you're planning a wedding in Ireland, you're in the right place. You're going to learn the tried and tested methods to planning your dream wedding without the added stress. Think of this as your one-stop shop for everything to do with planning your wedding in Ireland. With me, your new wedding planning bestie, and a cup of tea. This is Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online. Well, happy Wednesday. Welcome to Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online. I'm your host. My name is Kelly, and we are right in the middle of a month of doing a whole lot of podcast episodes all about getting engaged and what to do when you start planning your wedding. So our first episode in the series is all about which suppliers to book first. Then last week I shared some wedding terminology and I explained what some of these different words mean, because now that you're planning your wedding, you're probably hearing lots of unfamiliar words. Next week I'm going to help you choose your wedding style and colors. And today we're going through your wedding date, how to choose the date and which factors to consider. So I'm going to walk you through some different things to think about and how you can pick the date that best fits with you and your plans. So let's get started. Firstly, think of special dates. Now, wouldn't it be romantic if you could say I do on your anniversary of your first date? Or maybe you could get married on the same date as your parents' 25th wedding anniversary. Think about some significant dates in your relationship, in some of your family members' relationships, and some dates that are really special and sentimental to you, and see if there's a possibility that any of them line up perfectly and are happening at about the time that you want to get married. See if any of those are suitable. Now, for me, something that I was thinking about as I got married was in South Africa, we have what's called a public holiday. It's kind of like a bank holiday, except it's not a Monday or the first Monday of the spring, for example. It's always a particular date. And every year, that day, no matter what day it falls on in the year, that day you get off. And so my husband and I picked one of those. It was the 1st of May. And that's when we got married. So we got married on the 1st of May. And every year on the 1st of May, no matter what date it fell on, it was a public holiday for us. So that was a special date. It didn't have significance in terms of our relationship, but it was a day that we decided we wanted to get married because it was a holiday. Another day in a similar theme is think about the season. So when you picture your wedding, do you think of a big garden wedding where you've got the sun shining, or some kind of cozy indoor wedding with lots of candles? Think about the season that you want to get married, and that will help you to narrow down the dates that you're searching for. So if you're wanting what's considered an off-peak wedding, that would be a winter date, and the popular dates, the more popular dates are typically the summer dates. So consider what type of season you're envisioning your wedding to take place. If you're picturing outdoor wedding festivities or something more cozy and indoors, that will help you to determine which dates of the year to start looking at. Now, here's another one. It's a very practical one, but definitely worth considering, is think about when you can get time off work. So for some people, you can only get certain days off in the year. So, for example, if you are a student or a teacher, you may only be able to get summer holidays and some midterm breaks where you can actually have a little bit of time off. So this is particularly important if you want to take any time off in the lead up to the wedding, or if you want to go on honeymoon straight away. Think about when you can get time off, and if it's not super flexible, then that will help you to dictate when you're getting married as well. How about this? Plan around your venue. Now, I've said this before and I will say it again. What comes first, the wedding date or the wedding venue? It's a bit of a chicken or egg situation with no right or wrong answer, and it completely it comes down to what you want to do. Either you choose your wedding date and you look at venues to see which ones are available on your date, or you look at wedding venues, you find the perfect one, and you see what dates they have available. Those are your options. So if you are doing the second option and you're shopping around looking at beautiful wedding venues, you find your dream one, you see which ones they have available, that's a great way to find your wedding date, because you can be dictated by what they have available for you. Now, what about this? Think about your budget. So I've mentioned before that you've got off-peak wedding days. So if you have a smaller budget, you might want to consider an off-peak day, which is a midweek wedding or a winter wedding. But if your budget is significantly smaller than you thought and you actually want to take some time to save, then that will help you know which year to get married in. Because you might say, hey, I've got enough money to get married in the next 12 months, let's go. Or you might say, you know what, the day that we've been dreaming of is going to require more money than we thought. We want to spend some time saving, so we're going to wait for an extra year or two, and that's when we're going to get married. So thinking about your budget will help you to pick your date as well, surprisingly. And the final one is consult your loved ones. Now, this definitely has... I've got my hands up because I'm saying I don't think that you should talk to all your loved ones, but there will be some wedding party members like your maid of honor or your best man, maybe some family members like your parents or siblings who, for you, they have to be at your wedding. Maybe you've got some family members or close friends who live in different countries, or they have certain jobs that require them to be away quite often. Whatever the reasoning is, if there is any reason that somebody might not be around and that would be a game changer for you, I highly recommend involving them in the conversation. So what you're not saying is, hey, when should I get married? But what you could say is, hey, we're thinking of getting married in this month of this year. We just wanted to check, will you be around? And if they say, I will do whatever I can to be there, great. But if for some reason a person who really, really needs to be there can't be there for a legitimate reason, that is one way to kind of filter out some dates and to help you get on track. So I'm going to quickly run through the list of things to consider one more time. When choosing your wedding date, consider special dates like anniversaries. What about the season? Do you picture being outside or indoors and a bit more cozy? Can you get time off? Think about when you can get your time off and if that has a role to play in choosing your date. Plan around your venue. Remember we spoke about the chicken or egg situation. What comes first, the wedding venue or the wedding date? Consider your budget. Do you want to get married now? Do you want to wait? Do you want to get married during the off-peak times? Or are you happy with a popular summer date? And finally, consult your loved ones. But remember, don't ask everybody because not everyone's opinion is as important. Just the nearest and dearest, the close family and friends. Well, thank you for listening today. The Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online podcast is produced by me, Kelly, and mixed, mastered, and edited by Glenn Hartman. For more wedding planning tips, advice, checklists, and more, visit weddingsonline.ie.